Hello everyone, welcome back to the FaZe Reviews YouTube channel. My name is Jordan. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back as always. Today, it's time to take a look at another record player, this time a beautiful belt-driven acrylic model from the company Audio Keeper. I'm not familiar with this company. I've never used one of their products before, but they sent this to me for review so that I could check out. And just fair warning, no money was changed hands. I just got the turntable for free. That's my compensation, but they have no creative say over what I talk about in this video, and they cannot edit or alter the video in any way. So I'm going to share with you my honest opinions and thoughts on whether or not I think this is a good value. It sure is a beautiful turntable, but does it live up to its looks with its sound quality? We'll talk about that in just a moment. But before we dive into things, if you have watched my videos before and you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you as one and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any more videos coming in the future. If it's your first time here, hopefully I can earn your subscription by the end of the video. Whether or not you like this video, please leave a comment down below so I can hear your thoughts on this turntable or other budget models you'd like me to review. And if you do end up liking what you see here, make sure you like the video to help the algorithm. But enough about that, let's take a look at this Audio Keeper belt-driven acrylic turntable. If you have seen any of my other turntable reviews, you can probably tell that I've come to the realization that budget turntables have come quite a long way. When I first got into hi-fi 6 or 7 years ago, budget models were just the suitcase ones you could get at Walmart or Urban Outfitters, or ones that you had to pay at least a few $100s for to get any sort of upgraded features like adjustable tracking force, a cueing arm, auto start stop, adjustable pitch, things like that. And so now turntables that I have checked out and ones that I'm seeing on Amazon start to have these features included at a lot lower prices, which is awesome. You don't want to get into record collecting and just ruin your records with a crappy turntable. And this one from Audio Keeper, besides being completely sexy with its acrylic design, which we're going to talk about in a minute, has a lot of those features I want to see even in budget models. So adjustable tracking force right here. We've got a really nice smooth tone arm lifter, a cue lever right here. We have a replaceable Audio-Technica cartridge right here, which is nice. And of course, switchable line phono pre-out. It even has Bluetooth, even though I don't use that. If you're new and you just want to have records just for the physical part of it and you don't care about sound quality as much, you could absolutely Bluetooth this as well. But of course, a turntable like this, you're buying for the looks. The acrylic is just unlike anything else you see on the market. I haven't seen budget acrylic turntables really. They're normally reserved for like the really high-end market. So is this the most practical turntable material? Probably not. Like my Fluence RT85 is a nice wood body with an acrylic platter, which I really, really like. But to have an all acrylic turntable, I don't know sonically if that's the best thing or not. However, it looks stunning. So if you're someone who dabbles in vinyl, but also wants a statement piece for your living room, your man cave, whatever, this will definitely fit the bill. Deck this thing out with some LEDs or put some underneath it. It's gonna look amazing. Or even in like an upscale living room, the presentation that it has right now just by itself is awesome. So we'll get to looking at this in just a moment and talking about setup. This is the box that it comes in. I'm not going to do an unboxing because I've been testing this, but I did want to show you all the accessories that you get. So you're going to get your power cable, of course, standard DC wall wart plug right there. You get an RCA cable, nothing special. You do get a USB cable if you want to digitize your vinyl and upload it to your computer. You get a little Allen wrench to make adjustments on the counterweight on the tracking arm. You also get your 45 adapter if you want to play 45s, a manual of course, and they even include a cork slip mat, which I think would just destroy the aesthetic of this turntable and defeat the purpose. My Fluence turntable has an acrylic platter and I put the records right on it, no slip mat required. So they include a cork one, which is kind of unique from a lot of turntable companies, but I'm not going to end up using this. Now, the turntable itself is extremely heavy. Like even my Fluence RT85, which I paid a lot more for, is not this heavy. The acrylic is just a bulky material, which I imagine is going to go a ways in reducing vibrations, keeping the steady, preventing if it's on some sort of surface that can get bumped, needle scratches, skipped records, all that kind of stuff. So the plinth is, I mean, very well done. Sharp edges, like definitely don't let kids fall and knock their head on this because they would get cut. But no imperfections in the acrylic that I can see. Very clear, very uniform all throughout. They do include a dust cover. Some of the complaints I've seen online is that this is a tinted dust cover. I think the tinting is very mild, and I do not, compared to some other people, think that it detracts from the look of the turntable. I think it's very beautiful. Mine also has the Audio Keeper logo on top. I know some of the early ones that they sent out didn't have that. Mine has it. It's a very basic logo. I don't think it's distracting. It looks great. You could always remove it as well. On the bottom, we've got 3 feet, 2 in the front, 1 in the back middle. These are not adjustable as far as I can tell. Like, I tried to screw them off and they do like separate from the plinth, but they don't like go up and down to a degree that would help you level the turntable. So you're gonna have to do it with shims or with your surface that you're setting this on. The platter is also acrylic. It's very hefty. It has a groove on the inside that the belt fits in. They include the belt, and you just slip that over the motor. That's really, for the setup, all you have to do. The cartridges comes pre-mounted. It is not aligned perfectly from the factory. I think it's aligned enough, but if you are attention to detail, someone who cares about that, I have a protractor already, or you can print one out. Just make sure your cartridge is aligned. You do have to put the counterweight on and adjust the tracking force. This cartridge, the 3600, I think is the one that comes on all the basic turntables, should be at around 3.5 grams, which is what I've got it at right now, and there's enough travel in the counterweight to do that. You could probably do tracking forces up to around 4 or so before you run out of space. You can always verify the weight with a stylus scale if you wanted. Mine was pretty close when I compared it to the scale. It was only off by like 0.1 grams, so I think you're good enough not using that if you need. You've got a cueing arm, tone arm lifter right here. It's very smooth, kind of too slow on the down, so if you push it down, it's gonna take a while to drop all the way. Hopefully with continued use, that will speed up just a little bit. Like, I don't want it to slam, but I would like for it to be a little bit faster than it is right now, but it's smooth, which is what I care about. Now, flipping this around to the back, and I'll make sure to get some close-up footage of this, you've got an array of ins and outs all housed in this aluminum-looking enclosure at the back, so you can't see any of the wires or anything. You do have your RCA outputs, of course, with your ground connection if you want to use an external phono preamplifier, and we have switchable phone line out and Bluetooth out with this little toggle switch next to the RCAs. We have our USB for digitizing your vinyl. We have a speed adjustment toggle between 33 and 45 RPM. There is no 78 on here, which I think is fair. No one's using 78, or very few people are. At least I've never ventured into that rabbit hole. You have auto stop on and off on this turntable, and you have a pitch adjustment knobs, which is really nice. So if you download an app to check the accuracy of the speed of your turntable and it's not quite on, a lot of turntables, if they do have that, you gotta like open it up and get inside and adjust things. This is just a little knob right on the back, and so from what I've seen in other reviews, I haven't gotten this deep into it because I mostly listen to 33s, but sometimes if you adjust for the 33, it throws the 45 off. So for me, listening to only 33 RPM records, I just adjusted the pitch for the 33 and got it dialed in perfect. We've got the DC in plug right here, and then your toggle switch. Now, this has auto start and the auto stop if you engage it. And the auto start, basically, once you lift the tone arm and place it over the groove, the platter will start spinning, just like my Fluence RT85. If you have the auto stop on, it will turn off the platter at the end of the record. If you don't have the switch engaged on the back, when you put the tone arm over the turntable, nothing's gonna happen. And so you can use that to adjust your angle with the protractor, get the cartridge dialed in. But most of the time, you're just gonna keep that on, and I don't think it uses much juice at baseline when the motor is not actually turning. Overall, sound quality, basic cartridge on here, 3600L, but using the line output, I'll play some audio demos real quick into a pair of stereo speakers. Keep in mind that YouTube audio demos don't really tell you anything because of compression and uploading and editing and coming through your speakers or headphones, but I think the audio quality is on par with other turntables in this price category. This is not reference, this is not super audiophile quality. It's definitely gonna be better than your Crosleys or your Victrolas or your record player in a boxes, and it's not gonna damage your records long term like those will with their non-adjustable tracking force. So let's do a quick demo of this in action. I wrap things up, I did want to touch on one more part of the construction, which is the tone arm and the tone arm lifter and counterweight and everything here. In contrast to the really heavy, robust construction of the plinth and the platter, these are actually quite lightweight. I can't imagine, if this tone arm is metal, it's very, very thin metal. It may just be plastic. I'm not sure. The head shell is non-removable, which is another big downside, although you can get your cartridge on and off. Just be very careful adjusting your wires so that you don't break anything as you're doing so. The holder, I don't know what this is called, the thing that actually supports the tone arm has a little bit of play in it, and it is plastic construction as well, just painted to look like metal. So this whole turntable is really well made until you get to this part right here, which unfortunately for audio quality is probably one of the more important parts. Again, I think people are buying this more as a statement piece that also plays records as opposed to their main reference turntable. At least I wouldn't if I were you. But overall, like I mentioned before, I think the quality is on par with other comparable price turntables. Maybe things that are priced about $100 less, you're definitely paying a premium for the beautiful acrylic finish. So it's up to you. Do you want a relatively low to low mid quality turntable with a really stunning design, sacrificing a little bit of build quality in the parts that matter so you can have the statement piece, or would you prefer to get a more basic, maybe more boring design turntable and get a little bit of an audio upgrade? So that's going to kind of come down to you. Hopefully this has come across as just sharing the unbiased pros and cons of this. Again, this is not replacing my reference turntable, although I could definitely find a use for this in another area of the house to look pretty and also be able to play some background tunes from time to time. If you want to read more about this, I'll include a link down below. You can go check it out there. If you're not already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos coming in the future. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the Audio Keeper acrylic turntable. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.